Welcome back to the SMT YouTube channel. In today's video, we discuss one element of Verizon's Q2 earnings from yesterday, and I want to kind of focus in on it because I do think there's the potential for this to actually happen. I want to talk a little bit about price ups, as Verizon calls them. To us, they're price increases. The fact that your bill can likely or will likely change, and not in a good way for the consumer, right? Paying more is not ideal. We like paying less or getting more for the same amount of money, right? That's the battle that you face when you do business with carriers. They're trying to squeeze you for margins. You're trying to spend less to save money on your budget and whatever else. So yesterday, listening to Hans Vestberg, the CEO, speak, as well as Tony Skiadas, the CFO, the Chief Financial Officer, I got the impression from a couple of comments that Verizon's pretty comfortable raising prices. They seem to be in a place where they believe they know how to do it in a controlled fashion. They've done it in bits and pieces over time, right? They typically, what they do is they take one segment of the consumer base and they raise prices for like this legacy plan. We'll call it Plan A. And then several months later, they'll do it to Plan B, right? Which is a different legacy plan. But eventually they hit the pricing action wheel on everything. They just do it in a sequential, segmented way so that it doesn't hit everybody all at once or, hit a plan multiple times or anything like that in the same year. Anyways, the way that Verizon seems to be doing this is by turning modern plans into legacy plans. And once they turn those modern plans into legacy plans, they can then shortly thereafter raise the pricing. And in the reasoning, whenever they send out the notifications, the emails and the letters, they'll say, hey, you have a plan that is no longer offered. You have a plan that needs to be adjusted, or switched to these new plans. Typically with the new plans, you likely are going to get less, or it's going to be structured in a way that gives Verizon another opportunity to sell you something else, which they're really focused, based on yesterday's commentary, on ARPA, average revenue per account. They don't care about ARPU, average revenue per user. They would like to see you deepen your relationship with the company and just spend more relative to your bill cost. So if you currently have 4 lines, they'd love to sell you a 5th. If you currently have 3 lines on a legacy plan, they would love to get you switched to my plan and then start selling you the perks, right? The Netflix, all those things. And the only way they do that is by making you uncomfortable with what you're paying for your legacy plan, right? So that's really what I think the focus is. They're going to, I think in the next calendar year, at least, maybe not even the next calendar year, maybe in the next 8 months or something. Like I just based on the way it seemed delivered by Hans yesterday, a price increase could come, and the way they typically have been doing it is by sunsetting plans, right? Very quickly transitioning them to legacy plans, and then restructuring the new version of the plans, which gives them those, monetization opportunities. We've seen price ups in home broadband. We've seen price ups in mobility and wireless service. That's probably how this is going to go. And it's probably going to happen, I don't know, I'd say probably by like January or something, right? And that seems crazy because it's only like 5-6 months away. But yeah, and maybe it doesn't happen until Q2. But like, I think there's going to be a leak in some kind of a communication that goes out where we find out that my plan is getting changed. Not that it's going away. I think Verizon likes the structure, but the way you have like the unlimited ultimate and the middle plan and the entry level plans, they're going to change something somewhere, right? Because if you notice, Verizon's not growing the consumer segment. They have less accounts than they've had in the past. They have, clearly indicated that they really don't grow in the first and second quarters. And they seem content with that. They're just looking at it holistically through the year. So if you can't add more customers to the network, the only way you make more money by increasing revenues is by making your current customer base pay more. So I do think that's coming. Anyways, I don't know what your response would be if you're a Verizon customer. I have no clue. I just know that Verizon's churn rate is elevated. It's been elevated. It's elevated on business, and they're good with it. They're not really too worried about it being at .90, considering that maybe possibly they would be third in the industry behind potentially AT&T. I think strongly that's a likelihood, but even possibly T-Mobile. We'll find that out tomorrow. Anyways, just put this on the back burner as a possibility that could be happening in the near term. What I mean by near term is within the next year, 6 to 12 months, something along those lines. It's the T-Mobile playbook. It's the Verizon playbook. They sunset the old plan, charge you more or give you less in the newer versions. Typically how it goes. Anyways, let me know what you think about this and the possibilities. Like, share, subscribe, check out some more videos. We'll see you guys soon on the next one.